period, so I dumped that bitch immediately, end quote. Dear nameless dummy on Twitter, you're the reason my daughter cried funeral tears when she started her period. The sudden grief she felt after the matriculation from childhood and the induction into a reality that she was going to have to negotiate people like you and your disdain for what her body can do. Herein begins an anatomy lesson infused with feminist politics because I hate you.
Yeah.
Twitter dummy, there is a thing called a uterus. It sheds itself every 28 days or so, or in my case, every 23 days. I've always been a rule breaker. That's the anatomy part. I digress. The feminist politic part is that women know how to let things go, how to let a dying thing leave the body, how to regenerate, how to become new, just waxing and waning, not unlike the moon and tides, both of which influence how you behave, but I digress. Twitter dummy, women have vaginas that speak to each other. By this I mean, if I'm with my partner, my sister, my mother, my friend, our menstrual cycles will actually sync the fuck up. My own cervix is mad influential. Everybody I love knows how to bleed with me. Hold on to that, there's a metaphor in it. But when your mother carried you, the ocean in her belly is what made you buoyant, made you possible. You had it under your tongue when you burst through her skin, wet and panting from the heat of her body, the body whose machinery you now mock on social media. That body wrapped you in everything that was miraculous about it and sung you lullabies laced in platelets without which you wouldn't have a Twitter account at all, motherfucker. But I digress. See, it's possible that we know the world better because of the blood that visits some of us. It interrupts our favorite white skirt, shows up at dinner parties unannounced. Blood will do that, period. Blood is the biggest siren, and we understand that blood misbehaves. It does not wait for a hand signal or a welcome sign above the door. And when you deal in blood over and over again like we do, when it keeps returning to you, that makes you a warrior. And while all good generals know not to discuss battle plans with the enemy, let me say this to you, dummy on Twitter. If there is any balance in the universe at all, you will be blessed with daughters. Woo! Blessed. Etymologically, blessed means to make bleed. So now it's a lesson in linguistics. In other words, blood speaks. That's the message. But stay with me. Your daughter is going to teach you what you need to know. That women made of moonlight, magic, and macabre will make you know the blood. We're going to get it all over the sheets and car seats. We're going to do that, period. We're going to introduce you to our insides. And if you are as unprepared as we sometimes are, it can get all over you and leave a forever stain. So to my daughter, should anyone be fool enough to mishandle the wild geography of your body, how it rides a red running current like any good wolf or witch, well, that's when you just bleed.
Yes.
Give that blood a biblical name, something of stone and mortar. Name it after Eve's first rebellion in that garden. Name it for the last girl to have her genitals mutilated in Kenya, and that was this morning. Give it as many syllables as there are unreported rape cases. Name the blood something holy, something mighty, something in hieroglyphs, something that sounds